Hey folks, Dude here, and well, I'm gonna weigh in on the Ray Rice travesty, tragedy, call it what you will. I mean, it's safe to say that I'm ready to do this because I got a cup of coffee, so let me do that right now. Java. All right, so the story is essentially that Ray Rice and his wife, they were both in Atlantic City. They both were drinking. Obviously, they were drinking. They both were just roughshod. And they were going back to the room, and they were having a little tete-a-tete in the hallway, and she poked on him, and, they get in the elevator, and they're going up to the room, and supposedly he said something to her, she said something to him, and he said, she said, she said something, he said something, she slapped, spit, whatever, and he just clocked her. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. He just basically gave her a full-on roundhouse, square to the jaw, dropped her ass, came down, bounced her head off the rail in the elevator, hit the floor like poop out of a cow's butt. Done. Just done. Done, on the floor, just, floor pizza. So anyway, the long and the short is essentially they get to one floor. It's not the right floor. He was going to haul her ass out, drops her back on the floor. The video's on TMZ. It's all over the whole internet, okay? So then they hit their floor. He basically grabs her, drags her out, shoe comes off, goes back in, grabs the shoe, other shoe comes off, and he's like steering her around. At this point, the security guy shows up because these cameras are monitored, okay? Any gaming place has got more cameras than any three-letter agency in the United States in their place of operation, okay? That's just how it is. These cameras are flipping everywhere, and you're not going to escape the wrath of being seen for doing that exactly what you've done. So anyway, the long and the short is he drags her out in the hallway, plop. Now unceremoniously, this is your fiance, drags her out, plop. Proceeds to shift her around a few times, kind of really just dismissively, like kicking a leg or, kicking her butt around. And then, then the security guy shows up and he's like, oh, no. From what I understand, the storyline is this. Security guy shows up and he's like, oh, no, we just had a lot to drink. She's really, really drunk. Here, let me get her up so she's going to be okay. Basically gets her to come almost kind of like a kneeling fetal position thing. At this point in time, she's starting to wake up. So she's starting to come conscious, kind of a little woozy, a little blah, blah, blah. She's still just, she's knocked the F out. So anyway, she basically comes to some semblance of consciousness, and the security guy's like, okay, dude, you got to back away from her, okay? I don't know what's going on here. You need to get away from her. You need to leave her alone. We're going to assess the situation. You need to back up. So more security guys pop in there. And at this point, they're like, no, you really need to go to that side of the hallway and leave her alone, and we need to attend to things, because we don't know what the story is here, and we don't know what you did. So then the story is the cops show up. They basically get rousted and taken in. I believe there is some additional, he said, she said, and of course, they're probably like trying not to get like too much cop involvement. So they're like, okay, well, we had a little spat. We're both really drunk. Obviously she's probably got a bruise. Obviously a black chick's not going to show as much of a bruise as a white chick, but she's probably still showing somewhat of a bruise. And he did really clock her. Okay, you're talking a running back that's as big as he is, and he's a little pit bull. Okay, he's a little shorter than me, but he's every bit of my mass, if not another 10 pounds. So he's like 5'7", 5'8", or something like that, 230, 240 pounds. He's a pit bull, okay? He's not a little dude. You've seen him in pictures, man. Ray Rice is a big boy. So anyway, the long and the short is essentially the story gets, played around with, and, the league says, okay, you have an assault. Atlantic City basically charged them with, some minor charges. He was going to get lit up, but for some reason the judge either is a Ravens fan or took pity on him and gave him the misdemeanor lesser charges of, assault, domestic violence, call it what you will. And he was doing some anger management things, doing some other falderall, doing some other happy horse stuff. Flash ahead to just yesterday. Yesterday the video comes out and it's posted by TMZ. Now, there's a whole bunch of cynics going, well, you know what, the video was out there, the NFL saw it, John Harbaugh saw it, Bisciotti, the guy who owns the team's name is Bisciotti. Bisciotti saw it, all these other guys saw it, blah, 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 blah. Very cynically put, we're going to simply say that they knew what happened and they were trying to save their asses while not lighting this other guy up and keeping the league as, nice and namby-pamby as possible. Well, we don't want to be racist because this guy's obviously black, and we don't want to do these things. crap on all that stuff. The storyline is such that the video was not out there. Harbaugh even said expressly, I did not see the video until yesterday, and that's when the decision was made. But then the storyline is such that, well, you had only like secondary leadership of the Ravens organization actually doing the firing and all the rest of this happy horse stuff. I got bad news for you, okay? Probably it's a case where Bisciotti goes, you know what? You're my lieutenants, you're my captains, you're my generals. You guys are the ones who are running the team. I'm the finance guy. I'm the one that really puts down the hammer of Thor upon you when things are really, really foobar. And we haven't reached that point just yet for one player. So essentially the storyline is such that Ray Rice basically gets toddled off into the room, and they're talking to him, and they're like, okay, the video is, this is other things too. It's like the confidentiality of such as we will not ever know what happened behind closed doors. In his contract for his ethics codes, we will not ever know those things. A lot of the he said, she said stuff that's behind closed doors, we won't know. The basic premise is this, though. He went to a hotel. He was drunk. His wife went to a hotel. She was drunk. They went into an elevator. They slapped each other. He knocked her the F out, dropped her ass on the floor. And then the story comes out later on as that he and his wife had said, no, it was just a minor scuffle. It wasn't really all that big a deal. I was unconscious because I fell over because I was drunk or some other stupid stuff like that. But the story came out. They both lied to try to save his ass. That's the point and parcel that really everybody seems to be just glossing over for the cynical side of things. These two people lied. They didn't lie to just his coach. They lied to the commissioner. They lied to the media. They lied to the public. They lied to every single person that would listen to these people lying their effing asses off. Why? To save this guy's career, and that was the stupid part of it. If they'd simply both just owned up to the fact that, yeah, we had a scuffle, I hit him, he hit me harder, I'm a dumbass for messing with a football player, he knocked me on my ass. Done. That would have been it, okay? But the video came out later to corroborate and just completely blow their BS story out of the water. That's why Ray Rice got S-canned. He got S-canned, and I do mean S-H-I canned, because he lied. That's it. Point and parcel. Any other way you could look at it, he showed he was not to be trusted. Now, when you have that kind of money, $10 million plus whatever his contract was, you are banking on this guy to be a good face for your team. Now, that we refer to guys in our team as the Rays. There's Ray Lewis, who just retired, just recently got the statue, and was just a guy that had a similar situation where something, before, very young in his career, he had a really bad situation occur. They are not parallels at all. What happened to him and what happened to Ray Lewis and Ray Rice are completely different things. They both had legal entanglements, and the situation is such as they are not interchangeable, okay? Don't even go there. But Ray Lewis did get absolved of the charges. Ray Lewis did become a better man because of this. He did not do half the stuff that they're describing that Ray Rice did. That's the difference. That's really the difference. And the other thing, too, is Ray Lewis was actually a mentor to Ray Rice. That's why we called him the Rays. And he was even making a statement saying, I'm torn. I tried to mentor this kid, and, I don't even know what to say at this point. He's being the smart guy and the voice of reason and all this, saying, you know what? This is beyond me, okay? I'm a retired football player. This guy's an active football player. I try to be the father figure to him that he did not have at this time. But the kicker is Ray Lewis saw his mom getting her ass kicked with domestic violence. So if anything, Ray Lewis is more than anything pissed at Ray Rice. Because he's seeing the same exact crap happen when somebody who's, a big bulky dude takes on a little female and kicks her ass. He's got an axe to grind with him. So that's something else that they're really not talking about in the media, is Ray Lewis saw this stuff firsthand, and he's probably about ready to just cuss this guy up one side and down the next, which is really kind of not how Ray Lewis projects himself. I only got to say this. if you lie and you base your sheer existence upon lies, you will be found out. It will come back to bite you in the ass, and you will build a tower of dominoes, and somebody's just going to go, and you're going down. That's all I got to say about that. Honesty sometimes is the very best policy. And we see here a very just blatant example of what happens when you lie your ass off when you simply should have told the truth. All right, folks, I'm going to break off on this one. Eat good, keep the 10 ring, and as always, don't lie to save your ass for something stupid, because that was just idiocy. See you guys.